Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by today. And I think today what we're going to do is take a quick look around the garden. We're at the end of June right now, and the weather's been absolutely crazy here in New Jersey. I think it's been like that in many places in the country. We had very many days of rain, and then we had cold temperatures, and I mean cold. It was, only in the 60s. I mean, it's not cold, but it feels cold for the spring and summer. And we had a lot of rain, a lot. And now what happened, we've had 4 days of in the 90s, and the real feel has been in the hundreds. So today is another day. It's only 10:30 in the morning, and it's in the 90s already. And like I said, the real feel has been about 106. So the plants have gone from cold temperatures and rain to very hot and dry. Now, when I show you the front, the grass is going to look a little bit scraggly looking because I cannot cut it in this 100-degree weather. Not for me, but for the grass. I don't want it to go into shock. So tomorrow is supposed to be in around 75 and 70 on Friday, so it'll be the perfect day. I'm a little bit upset because our cousins Frankie and Maria are coming over today, and talk about pristine garden. Their garden is absolutely impeccably kept. So, but what am I going to do? I can't do a miracle and cut it, because then I'll have a brown lawn and I'll be even more upset. Okay, so let's take a quick look around. All right, so I'm going to start here on the side over here by the fence, and you see I have hostas over here, and on this side of the fence I actually let the big stalky flowers grow. I hate them, but I let them grow. These are the irises that I transplanted last year. Some garbage, and as you can see, some weeding that I need to do also, because this is the stuff that drives me insane, but I can't keep ahead of it between the cold and then the heat, and it's like a weed fest, for me to constantly be out here, and I can't constantly be on weed patrol, but I try as best as I can. Yeah, so what happens is it gets very frustrating because everything starts to look, brown and whatnot, and it was just so, beautiful. But, what are you going to do? That's the life of a gardener, right? Look at the grass. I'm embarrassed. It is so shaggy looking. But like I said, I just cannot cut it. Barberry here. I try to keep this trimmed as much as possible. I don't like that wild look like I had mentioned last time, but I try to keep them as tight as I can. This is a big azalea plant, and my sister-in-law was just asking me when she should cut her azalea. You need to cut them before the middle of July, because what happens is the flowers will set for next year. And I've been trying to remove, see, these are the remnants of the flowers, and I tried to remove them from the plant little by little. When I pass by and I remember to do it, I do it. But anyway, if you're going to trim your azaleas, especially this kind, try to do it before the flowers set, because the next year you're going to have less flowers. Do not do them in the late summer, and do not do them in the fall. Boxwoods, more hostas here. This day is pretty shady during the day, and then the sun comes in the afternoon. My 2 Boston ferns that I overwinterized, and they are finally beginning to, as you can see, they're making new fronds now. So they were gigantic last year. I have my fingers crossed that I'm going to get them to look the same way. Sand cherries, I keep them flat on the top. I keep clipping off the the new growth, because I want the growth to form at the bottom. It always seems like the bottom of them is not as big as the top of them, and that's not by design. That's just how it happens. See, even this spiral juniper, I have to keep it trimmed, but then see what happens is it gets all these brown things like this that I have to brush out. But of course, my dainty little hands don't like those pinchies from there. This is azalea that I just planted this year, and you can still see, like, there's these flowers that I've been doing so many other things. I'm neglecting some stuff that I really should be doing. you know, just to make it look better, and for me. See this weed? Do you all have that? This clover crapola? Oh my God. It's like everywhere, along with the Virginia creeper. All right, then in the pots, I have 3 of these pots with the mandevilla in it and the spike, the burgundy spike, with some vinca vine as well. And look at it, kind of looks sad right now. I just watered them. But still, they start to, get that look when they're trying to conserve energy because of all the heat. Here, I have to cut these off. They look bad right there. This juniper I cut last week. And like I said, it's still, you see, I don't sit, when I'm cutting it, I don't notice the remnants. Here's another one of these stupid clovers. They're like constant that I'm pulling these out. Gets to be a pain in the butt. Okay, I have some mint in here, some more hostas, some of the stone sedum right here, regular sedum, juniper rug, irises, more garbage. This was garbage day, so the garbage men are not the neatest. They throw the stuff all over, so I have to go following, picking things up after them. These are 3 yellow barberry, and they suffered this year because of the snow, because it's near the curb, and a lot of snow and ice was on them, and so I cut them back, and they're starting to get a little bit better. I'm going to make them into squares. Stone sedum, that same arrangement right there in this pot. Some euonymus right here. Look how that grew, that stone sedum. That grew all on its own right there. Okay, let's take a look on the side. All right, look how the violets filled in here. My sister-in-law asked me, she goes, did you plant that like that? And I said, no, they grew all by themselves like that. I wanted to hide that crack. Excuse everybody's cutting their lawn. The DPW is down there cutting a piece of lawn that doesn't belong to anybody, so they're making the noise. So you can see here, day lilies right here. And some more irises and the hostas, and then the lily of the valley right here, the trunk of the pear tree, my sister-in-law's pear tree that I took, and I put a mandevilla in there. Now these hostas I left the flowers on because it gave height to the background of this. Here in this, I have these 2 pots right here by the door, excuse the air conditioning units. Look how big my Italian parsley is getting, the flat leaf Italian parsley. I have some basil, it's a complementary plant to my tomato right here. Nice big thick stem forming on that. I have more tomatoes right here and basil. Take a look at that leaf, how nice and big it is. And this just fell over right now. So I have these curly Q stakes for the tomatoes, but I still like to tie them a little bit because they get a little bit big. Another tomato plant right there. My peppers are still doing, this is a lemon thyme and more Italian parsley, and my pepper plants are just starting to take off now. I don't know what the story is with them, but you see this, all this stuff down here. I can't do this enough. You know, not only does it make it look better, it can get moldy, you know, especially now we are expecting rain again, of course. So I don't like that to get wet and then hold all that moisture down there on the plant. More weeds. Okay. These are the daylilies that I moved. They were absolutely gigantic last year. They're rebelling a little bit, but that's okay. Let me just put this down right here. get it later. I planted these all this year, these Japanese hollies and these blue junipers as well. Section I reimagined right here. The irises are doing much better now. If you notice, if you saw from my last video, they're starting to get a lot more sturdy looking. My salvia was completely covered in purple flowers. I cut it all back, and take a look, they are growing again. So, you know, if you do that, if you keep on top of them, you'll get more flowers. I just trimmed these all off the other day, and they're back again. They're gonna come off. These planters, I really didn't add anything to them yet because these mandevillas tend to get very bushy. So I have marigolds in there, yellow marigolds with the red mandevilla, and then the Dracaena spike. This was a piece of the salvia that I just pulled out and I stuck right here. It's doing okay. This is a late blooming azalea. As soon as it gets done, I'm gonna cut this back a lot because it's too spiky looking with not a lot of leaves. Okay, coming around the side of the pool, my crepe myrtle right here. No flowers yet, they're just probably gonna start setting soon. Okay, let's go around the other side. My nephew and his girlfriend were here yesterday, and Marion and I actually got into the pool with them. It was very nice. We had a really nice day. The pool has warmed up beautifully. It's got to be in the 70s now. You can walk right in. It's no like sticking your toe in and screaming like normal. Coral bells. These are all catmints. I cut all the flowers off of them and I cut them back. They look a little bit brown, not because they are brown, but because I just got done power washing the patio, and I'm going to re-sand it. Have to go to Home Depot to get the sand, to put the sand in. But anyway, all of that mess went all over everything, and it was absolutely filthy. Two more mandevilla right here. Here is my Cana lily finally coming up with some basil I have in there. And my neighbor who gave me the Cana lily asked me if he could have a couple of them because all of his died. Most of mine died. I think I have about 5 of them that survived. Another Dracaena with the mandevilla. You can see all my stone sedum spreading in here, in between the bricks, vinca vine, cinquefoil, more Cana lilies back there with the basil. The violets have a lot of holes in them. I haven't sprayed anything for insects. These catmints, you can see right there, I cut them almost to the ground because they were so big and droopy looking. It looked really bad. And you can see all the irises that I have to pull out in there. And then for some reason I have 2 marigolds in here and they look really, really bad. So they must hate it there. I'm gonna have to move those. Take a look at how beautiful that sedum is right there. Okay, these are 2 plant hangers. I'm gonna put some plants in there. I just put those out today. Oh, I just see the robot stop. I have to set them up again. Let me go press that button. Even it's so hot, even the insects that are flying take a dip in the pool. And then unfortunately, I gotta scoop them out because they don't make it. Okay, there he goes, he's on now. Okay, let's take a look over here and we'll be almost done. Another tomato plant right here. These actually have tomatoes on them, which kind of look like olives right now. More basil and parsley, and my elephant ears right there. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by today. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment so my videos can get out there. Thank you, I appreciate it. Take care, bye-bye.